Texas wage law attorneys. Federal and Texas employment laws protect your right to be paid for the work you perform. These laws protect the timing and method of your paychecks, employment benefits, final paychecks, unemployment and payment for time and work. If your employer failed to pay your wages and benefits due in accordance with employment laws, you should talk to Texas employment lawyers right away. Minimum wage. The Fair Labor Standards Act, FLSA, and the Texas Minimum Wage Act requires employers to pay employees the federal minimum wage. Tipped employees may be paid less than minimum wage by their employer as long as they receive at least minimum wage with tips included. If your employer fails to pay you minimum wage, you may have a claim against your employer for unpaid wages, attorney's fees, and other money damages. Tipped employees often have unpaid wage claims under federal and state wage law. An employer may underpay tipped employees by taking the tip credit to pay employees $2.13 hourly while engaging in activities that invalidate their ability to take the tip credit. If the employer fails to pay minimum wage or takes tips that belong to workers, you should talk to Texas wage law attorneys right away. Overtime pay. The FLSA and Texas Minimum Wage Act require employers to pay 1.5 times your regular rate of pay for each hour you work over 40 hours in a pay period unless you are exempt. Overtime pay can make up a significant amount of your compensation if you regularly work in excess of 40-hour work weeks. If you believe your employer has not paid all of your overtime pay due, you should talk to Texas overtime lawyers right away. Unpaid wage claims for overtime pay can recover your unpaid overtime pay, attorney's fees, and other money damages. Unpaid wages, bonuses, and commissions. In addition to overtime pay and minimum wage, the Texas employment laws establish requirements for the timing and method of payment of wages, bonuses, commissions, and other forms of compensation. If your employer fails to pay compensation earned in the correct time and method, you may have claims under the Texas payday law, breach of contract claims, and other claims. Your employer's failure to pay compensation on time may also result in claims for violating minimum wage and overtime pay requirements under federal and Texas employment laws. If your employer failed to timely pay your compensation, you should talk to Texas unpaid wage lawyers about your rights. Equal pay for women and men. You may also have a claim under the Federal Equal Pay Act if your employer pays you less than employees of the opposite sex who perform substantially similar jobs. The Equal Pay Act prohibits sex discrimination in pay between men and women. Equal Pay Act claims apply not only to your wage or salary. Equal Pay Act claims can help you recover unpaid wages and other compensation that you would have received if you belonged to the opposite sex. You can also seek a court order to equalize your compensation going forward. These claims often accompany other claims for gender discrimination, so it is important to talk to an experienced employment attorney about your situation to make sure all of your claims are properly pursued. Employee benefits. As part of your compensation at work, you may receive employee benefits in addition to pay. Employee benefits may include health insurance, 401k, and other retirement savings plans, other forms of insurance, vacation and PTO, reimbursement plans, and other fringe benefits. Some of these benefits are protected under the Federal Employee Retirement Income Savings Act, ERISA. Additionally, some benefits are protected under other laws, such as the Texas payday law. If you believe your employer is messing with your benefits, you should talk to a Texas wage law attorney. Unemployment benefits. In Texas, employees may receive unemployment benefits if they are fired through no fault of their own. If your employer laid you off or fired you without cause, you may be eligible to receive these benefits. The Texas unemployment system allows both employer and employee opportunities to appeal decisions about your benefit claim. Sometimes employers are dishonest in their defenses or simply do not understand your rights to unemployment benefits. It may be necessary for you to hire a Texas wage law attorney to represent you in an unemployment hearing. If your employer opposes your unemployment benefits claim, you should talk to a Texas wage law attorney. Retaliation claims. You have the right under federal and Texas law to make good faith complaints about unpaid minimum wage, overtime pay, and unequal pay between the sexes. You are protected when you make those complaints internally or to appropriate government agencies such as the Department of Labor or Texas Workforce Commission. It is illegal for your employer to retaliate against you for making a good faith complaint. Class action lawsuits for unpaid wages. Often when an employer commits an illegal wage act, it does not occur to just one employee. Typically, entire groups of employees are negatively affected by the Illegal Employment Act. When employers commit wage theft against groups of employees, those employees have the right to combine their cases into a class action lawsuit. A class action lawsuit allows the employees to bring one lawsuit for the same wage law violations and pursue them collectively. A class action lawsuit for wage and hour violations gives all of the employees greater strength in numbers than having to pursue each claim individually. Class action lawsuits can lead to quicker resolution of unpaid wage claims and larger settlements or verdicts. If you believe you and your coworkers suffer the same wage law violations, you should talk to a wage law attorney about your rights to bring a class action lawsuit. Learn more about wage laws in Texas. Talk to a Texas wage law attorney. You deserve to be paid for all the work you perform in compliance with federal and Texas wage law and the terms of your employment. When your employer refuses to pay you what you are owed, it can have a real financial consequence on you and your family. You may be entitled to recover unpaid wages, attorney's fees, liquidated damages, punitive damages, and other sums from your employer. An experienced Texas wage law attorney can investigate your case and advise you of your rights to get paid what you deserve.